Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here. It's the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about, as we always do. We are live tonight. Bob Pompeani manning the controls here. We have a lot to get into with Pitt and their loss and how they lost that game, and also the Steelers. That'll be our #1 topic on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Here to discuss, Jeff Hathhorn, sports director at 93.7 The Fan, calls the game for Pitt when Bill Hillgrove isn't. You did the game yesterday. We'll get into that. Chris Mueller from the PM team, 93.7 The Fan, and Chris Adamski, who does a great job covering the NFL at Trib Live and Tribune Review. So I want to start with this game today. Jeff, we'll start with you on this one. I mean, you're living on the edge.
No doubt about it.
You're living on the edge if you're going to do this week after week and expect the defense to bail you out and then come up with these plays in the fourth quarter. But there's no denying that this team does play its best in the fourth quarter offensively. What's the difference, and why can't it start that way?
Yeah, I've been trying to hypothesize like we all have and ask you, why is it that Kenny's so much different in the fourth quarter? And I think it's this. I've come to this. They play so conservatively and not to lose that then they get to a point where they have to play to win, and they open it up a little bit. They throw it downfield a little more. They take more chances. That's the only thing to me that makes sense, is that, you know, they're playing so conservatively that they're too afraid to do anything, and it gets to a point where they just have to.
We've seen that last year when Mitch would go in after he lost the job. Then he would come in and he'd chuck it all over the yard. That's been my theory, Jeff, for a while. But I will differentiate. They have had games, guys, where they have failed to do anything and then had one drive, the Ravens game. This was a different animal. They put up 180 yards in the fourth quarter. They were averaging basically 10 yards a play. You take the 3 kneel downs out, they were getting like 9.5 a play. That's elite. That's all world. That's best offense in the league. I actually have weird hope right now. This was different than the games where they throw one ball and oh wow, okay, they pulled it out of the rabbit out of the hat. They had about 7 or 8 plays that were over 10 yards, explosive plays, different plays. Matt Canada looked like he was actually in rhythm and keeping the Rams on their heels.
It was fun.
Yes. Pickett looked like he was making easy pitch and catches. Everything they said, oh, Deontay back in the lineup's going to help us. It actually all looked real for 15 straight minutes and for 3 consecutive drives. This wasn't just one play at the end. They actually brought out the whooping stick in the fourth quarter.
By extension, not only the one play thing, I feel like we were still talking about that one drive against the Raiders. That one drive, that 6 plays. We talked about that for a month.
Yes.
Like the offense, that was one drive out of how many drives
the drive
so far?
The second drive, the 80-yard drive, is the best Matt Canada's offense has ever looked for what it is supposed to be. Like intermediate throws, quarterback on the move, power running. That is the best that offense has ever looked.
And it wasn't even in the past, these other fourth quarter comebacks, a lot of them were just one drive, like you said. They were in 2-minute, 4-minute situations late where it was sort of a hurry up. Some of them were literal hurry ups or no huddles, but at least it was something. These were more traditional drives that were clearly more traditionally called. And you saw more traditional type plays. It wasn't,
They even overcame 2 taunting fouls, which I'm not going to get into because they won. I'm not going to be hyper negative like I otherwise would be if they had cost them the game. They had 30 penalty yards on those 2 drives combined that they got. Well, one was the game sealer, but they aren't supposed to be a team that can A, play from behind, or B, play from behind the sticks or with negative plays, and they overcame both of them. I got to give them props. I think this was different than some of these other last-second wins.
Chris Hoke on our post-game show, Jeff, said that this is Kenny Pickett's problem in the first and second quarter. He sees open receivers. He says the play calls aren't that much different. He's missing guys, or he's too quick. I don't know. I'm just saying. Chris really studies these tapes. I mean, he was in here showing me some examples on the old
Chris,
22.
don't come in here in Oklahoma.
There are guys
drill
running free, and he's not. No, I get it.
I buy that. It's all part of it. By the way, I buy that.
I mean, at some point, it's got to fall on the quarter. But my question then would be, why, if it's not being conservative, why is he missing stuff early that he's seeing later? Or is it just his raising his level of game at the biggest part of the game?
I would have to go with that. I mean, it's not like he's trying to not be successful early in games. I mean, obviously he does. He wants to be successful. He warms up the same as other guys. It's not like he comes off the bus at 11 or 12:59 and then goes into the game and starts throwing. I mean, there's none of that. Maybe it's just mental for him right now. But what we saw in that fourth quarter, if that could carry over, then all of a sudden, I feel a little differently about that.
9 for his last 9. I mean,
I think when you're early in the game and you throw an interception and you know your head coach, even if he's empowered you to be the man, hey, you're not going to get like pulled off the field the way Mitch had to kind of look over his shoulder last year. If you're in the second quarter, first quarter, and you throw a pick and you set them up at your 35-yard line or your 40-yard line, it's going to be in your head. Like Jeff said to start all this, when it's getting down to nitty-gritty time, and it doesn't really matter if you throw a pick because you're going to lose if you don't throw a touchdown or lead a touchdown drive, I think it becomes a lot easier. I see it, I'm cutting it loose, and I'm not worried about what happens when I do.
And to be fair, that is still, even after today, that is still the way this team is constructed and built. It's not going to run away from anybody. With the defense.
Oh, I think Mike Tomlin loves games like this.
With the
I think he loves
defensive splash
this.
play ability that you still see every game they win, they seem to still need one of those plays.
Sure.
That's still, and then what about TJ Watt? I don't know if we could talk to that later or not, but that interception for a guy who's an edge rusher. I mean, we could talk to Myles
the
Garrett,
ball like a
TJ
free
Watt
safety.
thing, or something like that. See Myles Garrett do something like that in a game, and
Did you see what he?
Well, Myles Garrett.
Myles-
Chris, you picked a very bad weekend to do
Bring
that.
up
not
Myles
the coverage,
Garrett.
though. He doesn't go
The
in
only thing he
coverage, is
did,
what I'm saying.
he jumped over the line of scrimmage to block a field goal, and then he dunked. He got up to dunking level to bat a pass down.
It was interesting. We had a caller, and I think this is an interesting point because I thought it at the time. So at the end of the game, they have a chance to kick a 57-yard field goal, right, with Chris Boswell, who's been automatic. But it's 4th and 1. They called a play, which I expected to be called, and I don't have any problem with it. It's a quarterback sneak. But it looks like he's short. I don't know what they were using as a measurement. Would you have ever considered kicking the 57-yarder?
Nope.
Me neither, but a
I
lot of
want
people
that
out there
play.
in Twitter land seem to think that.
And you could tell where the Aaron Donald effect, like they saw, and because Hayward went up to where he thought Kenny was going to be, and Kenny went over left behind Sayamalu, and he tried to kind of one-arm push him instead of get right behind him and push. But I love that. End the game right there. Make that play. That kick gets blocked or something else
Even
happens.
if it doesn't, that's field position there. They're at 47.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't.
Even if they miss it, it's still
The
the
reason
same.
teams don't want to kick there is even if you get the 10-point lead, there's still the chance that they go down, score a quick touchdown, get an onside kick. I think that's what coaches just want to avoid, the possibility that they have 2 possessions riding on an onside kick.
We have a lot more coming up on this program talking about the Steelers, also the Ravens, the Browns. The Bengals were off today, but everybody else won today, so we'll talk about that. We'll also get into Pitt and what happened yesterday at the end of the game. Was that a bad call? Did they get jobbed, or was that the right call? We'll get into it coming up right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.
#1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran. Go one better.